All right, let's talk cheese. Today, we're going to take what can be a really intimidating world and turn it into a super exciting adventure. The goal? To give you the tools you need to walk up to any cheese counter with total, complete confidence.
You know that feeling, right? You're standing there, staring at this wall of hundreds of different cheeses, all these different shapes and sizes and smells, and you have absolutely no idea where to even start. It can be just completely overwhelming.
Well, guess what? You are not alone. That feeling is so incredibly common. So I want you to think of this as your own personal map, a guide that's going to help you navigate the huge and delicious landscape of cheese.
Okay, our first stop is all about cracking the cheese code, because once you understand just a few simple fundamentals, everything else just kind of falls into place. This right here is the key that unlocks the entire cheese kingdom.
You know, every single cheese out there is basically a result of these 5 variables. It all starts with the milk type. Is it from a cow, a goat, or a sheep? Then there's the moisture level, which decides if a cheese is going to be soft or firm. Acidity and rennet, which is this natural enzyme, help form the curds. And from there, it's all about the aging environment and the tiny little microbes on the rind that develop that final flavor. Cheesemakers are like artists, just pulling these 5 levers to create this incredible diversity.
So let's build up our vocabulary starting with fresh cheese. This is cheese in its youngest, simplest form. It hasn't been aged at all, so it's all about that pure, milky, kind of bright and tangy flavor. Just think of a perfect, fresh mozzarella or a creamy log of goat cheese, which are also here called chev.
And then you've got the bloomy rind. You know that soft, fuzzy white coat you see on a brie or a camembert? That rind is actually a living, totally edible mold. And it does this cool thing where it works from the outside in, ripening the cheese and creating that gooey, creamy texture that we all just love.
Now for the famously stinky cheeses. A washed rind just means the cheesemaker literally washed the outside with a liquid like salt water or beer or wine. This actually encourages a very specific kind of bacteria to grow, which is what creates those really powerful pungent aromas and those deep, savory, almost meaty flavors. Seriously, don't let the smell fool you. They are often unbelievably delicious.
And finally, blue cheese. What makes it blue? Well, it's another one of those friendly molds that gets added to the milk. Then the cheesemaker pokes these little holes in the wheel, which lets oxygen get in to feed the mold and create those classic blue veins. And that whole process is what gives blue cheese its signature spicy, peppery, and salty kick.
All right, now that we've got our new vocabulary, we are ready for a tour. Let's see how all these concepts come together to build the great cheese families of the world. Think of them like different continents of flavor, and we're about to go exploring. At its very core, cheese really exists on a spectrum. On one end, you've got your young, high-moisture cheeses that are fresh and mild, and then on the other end, you've got older cheeses that have lost water over time. That aging process, that's what concentrates their flavors, making them so intense, nutty, and wonderfully complex.
First up, let's meet the creamy crew. These are our bloomy rind buddies, like brie and camembert. Their whole vibe is about luxurious, buttery textures and these lovely, earthy, almost mushroomy flavors. And hey, here's your cheat code. The bubbles in sparkling wine cut through that richness perfectly. It is a classic pairing for a very, very good reason. Next, we've got the firm and nutty family. These are those really satisfying hard cheeses like Gruyere and aged cheddar. They deliver big on savory, brothy flavors, and the best ones have these little crunchy bits. They're called tyrosine crystals. They're basically clusters of amino acids, and they're a sure sign of a well-aged, super flavorful cheese. An amber ale or a crisp cider, an amazing match here. Now we're venturing into the bold and funky. This is where our washed rind and blue cheeses hang out. And yeah, they are pungent, but the flavor is this incredible mix of savory, meaty, and peppery notes. The secret to enjoying them? Pair them with something sweet, like a drizzle of honey or a fig, to balance out all that intensity. Okay, so you've got the theory down. Now for the most important part, using all this knowledge to find your next favorite cheese. Let's think of this section as your personal compass for that cheese counter.
The absolute easiest way to explore is to just start with a cheese you already know and you already love. From there, you can find related cheeses that share similar characteristics. It's the whole, if you like this, then you'll love that method. And I'm telling you, it is a foolproof way to branch out.
So for example, if you love that savory crunch of a sharp cheddar, you will probably adore an aged Gouda. Or if you love the creamy texture of brie, oh, you've got to try a triple cream for an even more decadent experience. And if you're a fan of the nutty sweetness of a cheese like manchego, other sheep-smoked cheeses like osso arati are going to be your next stop for sure.
Now, here's a pro tip. Use the right language. Instead of just walking up and saying you like sharp cheese, try using this exact phrase. Crystalline and dry are keywords that tell the cheesemonger exactly what you're looking for. That intense, crunchy, aged goodness. It shows you know what you're talking about.
We've cracked the code. We've found our favorites. Now for the ultimate reward, putting it all together to build the perfect, most impressive cheese board you can imagine.
And don't overthink it. Just follow this simple, foolproof formula. Pick one cheese from each of the major families that we just talked about. This is going to give you a fantastic range of flavors and textures, all the way from fresh and creamy to funky and firm. It is a guaranteed crowd pleaser every single time. And to make your board truly sing, here are the cheat codes for pairings. Creamy cheese absolutely loves bubbles. Pungent washed-rind cheese, it loves beer. Blue cheese loves something sweet. Hard-aged cheese can stand up to something like bourbon, and tangy goat cheese loves a zippy white wine. If you just remember these pairings, you will never, ever go wrong.
So, there you have it. You are now officially equipped to conquer the cheese counter. See? The world of cheese isn't so intimidating anymore, is it? It's really just a delicious adventure that's waiting to happen. So the only question left is this: what new cheese will you explore first?